Okay, so today we're going to talk about 8 simple grocery budget ideas that I actually do myself. Okay. And they work, and that's why I do them. Number one, I shop less often. I shop less frequently. I like to grocery shop about every 14 to 21 days. Oh, for some people, that seems like a really long stretch, right? For me, it seems like a money saver. Because by doing this, I'm forcing myself to make sure that I am not leaving anything behind to get sour or not use. I love to avoid food waste, not to mention the wear and tear and the extra time spent. For me, this is much more sensible for me. So it works. Next, I buy what I actually use in bulk. If I know there's a product that I use a lot. Okay. I variate it. Okay. But I have learned more often than not that frozen, done up potatoes for me is more of a reality for me than buying a whole bunch of fresh potatoes, unless I'm having a gathering, a party, or making a ton of fresh potato salad. And please forgive my nasal sound this morning because I went into an allergy tizzy. One unfortunate time of this time of the year, my nasal allergies act up. So forgive me. Sorry about that. But getting back to this, in my case, for my lifestyle, I much rather have frozen, let's say hash browns or those tots, those tater tot type of potatoes, or French fries, something to that effect, something in the freezer or frozen sweet potatoes. For me, that is more feasible. It's more realistic than for me to keep a whole bunch of fresh potatoes around. I love fresh potatoes. I think they're great. But for me to have a whole bunch of fresh potatoes around, in that case, I wouldn't shop in bulk unless I have a specific reason to. You have to check out your own situation. All right. I like to keep ingredients in my pantry that can be used for many different things. Example, one such ingredient would be flour. Flour, all purpose flour, for example, is used for many reasons. It could be a thickener for a sauce. You can make a roux out of it. You could bake with it, make cakes, cookies, pies. You see where I'm going with that. So it's one ingredient, but it could do a ton of different things. Okay. The same thing goes for sugar. Okay. You could do a ton of different things as part of an ingredient for other recipes. So I like to keep ingredients in my pantry that can be used for many different things. Next, I do take an inventory before I even think of creating a grocery shopping list. I look around me. What do I need? What do I have? What do I want? Blah, 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 and blah. And that helps me big time to plan for the next shopping trip. So for me, it works. So taking inventory for me is very smart. I don't want to triplicate stuff I already have and not get something that I actually really could use right now. So why should I tie up my money in things that I have much of? Doesn't make any sense, but it does pay to look over your inventory before you even go shopping. Uh, Next, I don't just buy things because they are on sale. This can't be emphasized enough. I know I've said this in the past, I say it in the past, because it makes a ton of sense. Okay, don't buy things just for the argument. "Well, yeah, but it's on sale. But do you use it? So whether it's on sale or not, it might be a great price. If it's an item you do not enjoy or your family does not use, it makes zero sense in my mind's eye to make such a purchase. So you see where I'm going with that. All right. Oh boy, these allergies, they're really quite annoying. I'm just saying. Well, here's one that might be tough for some people, although it personally does not bother me. I do not eat meat every single day of the week. What? You heard me. I do not eat specifically red meat. Okay. So, got you there on that one, right? I do not eat red meat every single day of the week. I'm okay with poultry. I'm okay with a night of, let's say, a tuna fish salad. I'm okay with chicken salad. I do not have to have red meat, nor do I desire red meat every single day of the week. Okay, that's me. Not saying I'm not a meat eater. I certainly am a meat eater, but I do not have to have it. This is just my personal taste. But in a case of like right now, that works out very well because beef prices are like from the sublime to the crazy, almost insane in some places. So for me, this is very helpful on my budget. I do not need to, nor do I want to eat red meat every single day of the week. I know. Some people like the thought of that is like, what? Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. All right. I cook in bulk and make freezer meals. This is a golden opportunity for people. Okay, if you're going to make, let's say your family enjoys macaroni and cheese. And by the way, my family could be happy with macaroni and cheese even in the summer months. Sometimes you want a bit of a hearty meal. I'm not saying a hugely heavy meal, but there's something about mac and cheese. Every once in a while, you get like a gloomy, not so very warm summer like evening. I'm experiencing that as we speak, as I record this video, as I record this audio video. I can't even believe here we are in the middle of June and we're having a couple of pretty cool days. Like we could wear a hoodie literally in the middle of June. I never thought in my lifetime, honestly. Although we did have a very strange July 4th about 10 years ago, literally, I was meeting a friend. We were sitting having a meal al fresco outside of a restaurant in the city, and it was awfully chilly. I said, I can't believe I'm sitting here going under this umbrella. It did not feel like July 4th. It felt more like Labor Day, a month after Labor Day to be precise. So you just can't count on things. But I mean, I digress here. However, it is wonderful to make some freezer meals. Macaroni and cheese from scratch. Many folks already know this makes a great meal in bulk and a great freezer meal. If you're going to make something in bulk like that, be prepared to consider placing some in those aluminum trays. Doesn't it could be the round aluminum tray, whatever size you want. It could be an 8x8, whatever the size your family. Wrap it up nicely and put it in the freezer for whenever. You can label the date. That's an example of an easy freezer meal. And it really is a budget stretcher, a time stretcher, an effort stretcher. This is where it turns into savings and it prevents the temptation of spending a ton of money on outside food. You see where I'm going with that. So cooking something like that and making freezer meals, it's a wonderful thing. Next, I make my own version of homemade pizza, and I'm saving a ton from outside pizza. Don't get me wrong, nothing beats pizza from the pizzeria. I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. Okay. However, my budget doesn't allow for the luxury of all the time of having outside pizza from the pizzeria, especially here in the city. Outside pizza in the pizzeria could be a ton of money. Nope, nope, nope. So once in a while is a major league treat. Fine. Again, once in a while. And what do I do with the leftovers? They get used up. They get wrapped over and they get frozen over. Nothing goes to waste. I promise you on that. Not at all whatsoever. Okay? Okay. But I would say that on a scale of 1 to 10, 9 out of 10 times, I make my own pizza. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean I'm always making a dough from scratch, whatever. I'm going to use the easiest type of dough possible, like the prepared one. Or I can make English muffin pizza or whatever concoction I come up with. I could make what I call this pasta pizza. Basically, it's just making your favorite pasta and throwing mozzarella and chopped pepperoni or whatever pizza topping you normally do. Throw that over your favorite pasta, and you have the essence of pizza flavor without, let's say, eating it in a traditional crust. Does this cut things in half? Heck yes. Shredded mozzarella cheese is always on sale for a song. I'm not talking about the excellent quality one that I personally reserve for the holiday season. That's a different matter. But the one in the bag already pre shredded, especially if you get the store brand, you're going to get it at a fraction of the cost. Get your favorite type of cheese topping or whatever other topping, and you will have saved a bundle on pizza. Outside pizza is very costly. And if you're okay with it, great. But if you're like a lot of us, consider making your own. All right, so I outlined a few of things that I absolutely do to stretch my grocery budget. These are just simple ideas. Hey, do us a favor and include some of your grocery budget stretching ideas. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate everyone's time. Don't forget to come back every single day when at 5 a.m. Eastern, I upload every single day of the week. Take good care of yourself, your amazing family, and as always, super thanks are truly appreciated. Thank you.